Hey everybody, Tracy Brown here. Hope you're doing well. I know this is not my regular time to check in with you all, but I didn't want to miss a day. I didn't want to miss too many days in a row, so I'm going to squeeze in some time for us today. All right, this came to me today, and this is a spontaneous thought, so here we are doing this video around the pretty normal fear I think a lot of us have when we start to switch from a system of containment of trying to control our food versus a system of containment of being supportive. And so all that fancy talk really means is like a lot of times when we stop trying to be so rigid with our food intake, we get afraid of like, oh, I'll never stop eating. If I let go of all my rules, or if I let go of even my beliefs around what I should or shouldn't be eating, I just get panicked. And sometimes people don't eat more, and they do find like the end point or the bottom. But sometimes that feels like it's really elusive, and that can be for a couple reasons. I'm not going to go too deeply into all that because I want to just kind of cut to the chase and give you a little bit of something to practice this week. So, and you all know when I do these videos, some of them are just pure straight up encouragement. Some of them are pretty like mini sessions, so I really want you to use them and take action, because if we don't, I know tons of people who have a lot of information around like recovery, intuitive eating, embodiment work, but sometimes there's like the bridge we need to cross with it feel like it applies. And sometimes we're not going to get there unless we have some assistance, but sometimes it's like I just need to slow down and practice this thing, and practice it frequently enough to where it becomes like a new neural pathway of behavior. So there are tons of reasons why we have that like really existential fear of like, if I start eating, letting myself eat what I want, I'll never stop. I don't want to sound dramatic, but my experience with my own process and that of so many others is that sometimes it can feel like a life and death thing of like, if I start eating, I'll never stop. And it feels like that sometimes. It feels like we eventually stop because we just run out of room and we're in pain. Or maybe we don't go do it that way. Maybe we just like continuously kind of graze. And either way, it's frustrating because you don't want to judge the behavior, because we know judging it just entrenches it and piles on more guilt. But on the other hand, if we don't look at it, then we never get a chance to shift it. So the one thing I want to have for today on that fear of, if I eat what I want, I guess I'm going to give you two tips. The first tip is what I just said. Know that if there is some eating that breaks some rules, you're probably going to feel some feelings. You're going to be bumping up against some old stuff around feeling out of control. And it's not that the feelings are out of control. It's just that the memory of having those feelings can feel like there's no safety. That can feel like there's no support, because it's like old body memory stuck in some time, some decade. It's not typically in the year or the moment we're actually in. Sometimes that's not true. Sometimes we're actually literally in a situation where we don't have much safety either. But I would imagine the majority of you watching this have something you can look to for some safety and some support. We're just not used to doing it, and we certainly probably don't do it consistently enough. And so number two is, one, you're going to feel some sensations or feelings. And if we judge them, it's just going to entrench it more. So please try to suspend like, I should know better. Why is this still happening to me? Why can't I do it differently? Let's suspend all that and go at it from the direction of like your competent adult, like with compassion. Number two is after you feel some of that at the capacity you can and at the level you can, again, you can always take a break. But if you're feeling, oh my gosh, if I keep eating, I'll never stop, I'll eat too much, I'll get too big, and I'll feel too much, and I'll be alone, and it feels life and death. Remind yourself you're not going to take away your food, but we also can, what would it be like to be able to come to the food in a way of safety? So you might need to think about how you do your eating. How do you come to your meals? Do you show up already kind of anxious, in a rush, 10,000 things on your mind? feeling really guilty about what you're choosing to eat, and you want to hurry up and get through it, you really want to look at, like, after you had that first sense of, like, here's what I'm going to do, and here's what I'm going to allow myself to have, then you're really going to have to, like, dig in and sit with what's happening and try to, at that meal, you know, for lack of a better word, can I sit with it and create a new kind of container for it? And so that might mean that you get up more in your meals and take a break and come back, and remind yourself you can still have it and you can do it the way you always do it, but this time we're trying something new, and you're really bringing a lot of space and presence and compassion, like literally internal hugging yourself. So this video was really kind of more than one tip and a little bit deeper dive than maybe I even thought I would do, but I have a hard time just living on the surface and not just giving you all the info and the real deal. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, let people know that, like, if they're struggling with this, like, really existential, oh my gosh, like, I can't let the lid off, or I'm afraid to put the lid back on if I let myself eat the food I want. So it's a pretty deep topic, and why it's so scary to kind of take those lists. Oh, well, yeah, totally, Jill. I'll do a video about that. And I will do it on Friday if you're interested. So hang on for that, okay? Had a little reader request. So I will do that video for you, Jill, on Friday. And we'll do that. So for now, take some of these things. If you're noticing for you in particular that this video is pretty close to what you're struggling with, but it's a little off. Oh, yeah. Okay. I will definitely do yeah, I can do that. I will tag you. If, let me think here. Got a little off topic, but I don't mind. Yeah, I think it's just really important to give yourself the containment you need, but in a loving, caretaking kind of way versus a punitive kind of way as well. So this is not about restricting and withholding. This is about, yes, you can have what you need, and I'm going to help you do this in a way that's supportive to all the parts, not just like, you know, the adult that, you know, thinks they know better and should be already have this figured out. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you all for watching live. I super appreciate it. And keep your comments coming and keep your requests coming for what we can work on, because I want to support you all as much as possible. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.